So welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're taking another look at Crypto.com coin CRO CRONOS because it is slightly pumping right now as we speak. Now, what is the reason for this pump? What is going on? There's been some big news in terms of what the CEO said and what other sites are predicting. So today we're going to break this down and take a look at everything. And remember, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. This is simply just documenting what has happened and some possible outcomes. Please do not take me or anything I say as financial advice. Do your own research. But right now, we can see if we type in CRO coin, which was trending on Twitter yesterday, the first top search result says Crypto.com CRO is in trouble, but a 50% price rebound is in play. So there's a lot of speculation now about a big rebound. A few of them talking about 28% fall following proof of reserves concern. And there was a lot of FUD. And FUD is basically fear, uncertainty, and doubt around bankruptcy for Crypto.com yesterday, as we talked about, following FTT's massive crashes. So let's take a look at the price right now. We can see that the price is currently sitting at $0.07, and that is 6 to 7% up from ETH and Bitcoin respectively. And we can see that in the last day it's gone down to lows of 0.05, but it is now pumping up to about 0.0745 as a maximum. So we can see that the market cap's obviously going to be pumping as well by 8%. Same for the fully diluted market cap, and the volume is far higher than previously before. So a massive increase in volume. There's a lot of stuff happening with CRO coin. So today we're going to take a look at what could the future be for Crypto.com, what is possible, and again, right, as we said yesterday, we talked a lot about the negatives yesterday. If CRO coin is selling coins to survive and to raise money for new ventures, if the price goes down too low and they're selling coins, they're going to have to sell loads more coins to get enough money to fund new ventures. And then, that could create an oversupply, could cause the price to go down further. So it's a risk we take of CRO coin right now, because they've gone down since their peak far more than any other exchange like Binance or KuCoin. And I find it quite surprising because Crypto.com are growing massively. I mean, Crypto.com have literally got 70 million users. And for a company with 70 million users, a market cap of 1.8 billion, I think that's relatively fair, especially in the crypto space, because a lot of stuff in the crypto space can be heavily overinflated. But let's talk about what has caused this pump right now. And will this pump continue? Now, firstly, I think that we have to remember that after the FTX scandal, the price kind of went down till about the 0.08 mark. And this is kind of where it hovered, a bit of instability around here, pumping up to 0.09 at points before crumbling down after the proof of reserve scandal. So if we get up the old candle chart right now, let's just take a little trend line, and we can see this is when the FTT scandal happened. So we're going to draw a little line after that and show that this is the point where prior to FTT, post FTT, this is the price we were sitting at. And then all of a sudden we wicked all the way down on that wick to what was at points lower than 0.06, which was down here. And yeah, if we take a look at the 1 month chart, we can see that this area that it fell to way below the FTT levels purely because of the FUD. It was kind of a support region which we last saw a year ago or a year or 2 years ago at about 0.06, just under that if so. So we can see that region was kind of expected to be a good level of support, which it was. And then since that region of support, we have kind of seen a bit of a bounce, as we can see in this half-hour slot here. So this is the support level that we hit before. We're still not at the level that we was at prior to this FUD. As we can see, that's where the blue line is. And, right now we're on a little downward trend. Who knows? It could be a little support region here. It could be a little bounce from here. We don't know. But essentially, this is the sort of region that I think right now we would expect to see CRO coin in, around this blue line. Due to the FUD, we've fallen down below this region, this blue line here. So what is the next play? Now, what has happened is, and the reason why it's pumping right now, is that Chris, the CEO of Crypto.com, has basically talked about, the FUD and what's happened. And he's held an MMA space where he's gone on to the press, to all these companies, the AMA, sorry. And he's basically said, listen, I've seen all the news. This is not true. Crypto.com have a very strong balance sheet, 1-to-1 reserves, minimal exposure to FTX. They're going to bolster confidence in the market. They're going to do all these great things, and essentially that has kind of calmed the nerves down of a lot of CRO investors. And you have to remember, crypto is very manipulative. There's going to be people that have been playing on this fear and uncertainty and doubt, and then a flick of a switch, when they stop playing, that can release all the tension and the negativity, and things can go back to normal. So yeah, essentially Chris has downplayed the risks, the fears, the exposure to FTX that was so-called proclaimed Crypto.com to have, and that has led to a slight price rebound. Now, I'd be careful when you're reading articles like this from Cointelegraph about a 50% price rebound in play. I'd be very surprised if we headed above 0.08 personally. However, there's been a lot of outflows to Crypto.com, away from Crypto.com as well. And I think that also one scary thing is that right now we're in a very negative period for the Crypto.com, right? So what happens if there's a mass capitulation phase? That could be quite scary. However, I feel like there's a lot of positives with Crypto.com. I mean, this is, some people have said, a good chance to invest. You've got a company with 70 million users. If they survive, that's got World Cup promotion, UFC promotion, Formula 1 promotion. The coin's going to be slowly more and more in demand. They got great Visa cards, nowhere near as good as they used to be, but as they expand to new areas, no doubt these Visa cards are going to be taken up. Maybe this is a good chance to invest because, you know, it's gone down massively. And as Warren Buffett once said, be greedy when others are fearful and fearful when others are greedy. However, you know, I'm not a financial advisor. That is not financial advice. I'm just offering both sides of the situation. You know, that's one pro, but if there's a mass market capitulation, CEO already on unsteady ground right now could go massively down. So there's a rough overview of why Crypto.com has had a little bit of a bounce in recent hours. Is that bounce going to sustain? It's very tough to know. It's very tough to see. As I said, I wouldn't expect it to go much lower than the support at the bottom here, and I wouldn't expect it to go higher right now than the 0.0816 mark. However, again, I'm just guessing here. The World Cup is around the corner. Maybe with the World Cup in play, with strong market conditions, we could see potentially a bounce from this point onwards, and a bounce back up to maybe the 0.1 levels. However, it's crazy how much this coin has essentially capitulated over the last few days, months. It's kind of scary in a real way. However, I still fundamentally think that Crypto.com personally is a good company and a strong company, and that is why I'm invested. I would never put all my money into it, but I do like to have some CRO coin hanging about, and you know, DCA the dip, but that's just me, right? So it's an interesting one. There's a lot of positives, there's a lot of negatives. I largely think that from this point onwards, Crypto.com's success, once they surpass this big scare and scandal that the CEO is claiming is absolute FUD, I think that there's a good chance of them progressing forward and doing some pretty cool things, especially around the World Cup. But yeah, Crypto.com has been trending on Twitter. You know, crypto never fails to disappoint, but I feel like, you know, the ETH transfers is a horrible thing to have happened at a time when FTT is gone bust and absolutely ruined the whole crypto market. And, you know, it can take, you know, the risk is as well that despite being very strong, the FUD can sometimes destroy places in the crypto world. So Chris really has done a good job in getting out and speaking to people and calming everything down. That is exactly what needed to be done. But let me know what you guys think about Crypto.com in the comments down below. What is the future going to be? What is happening right now? And are you scared? Are you excited? Are you bullish? There's really a lot of stuff to talk about. But I think that this is the third largest crypto exchange out there. I'd be very surprised if this went under. If it did go under, you know, you are in extreme trouble. A lot of the crypto influencers are kind of calling for stuff to be done about this coin and careful of Crypto.com. And, you know, I think they need to get their Visa card perks back. I think that was a great thing to do, but they just got too big for their own good, so they had to stop it. But the news is roughly looking more and more positive for Crypto.com from yesterday onwards. Just be careful of all the information you read online because, you know, this is very unlikely to rebound 50%. But yeah, thank you very much. Take care. Subscribe.